Nigerian indigenous wake up. We all know our space. We all know our land, where it belongs to us. We, the Hausas, we know our land. The Kanuri know their land. Igbo, Yoruba, and other indigenous, real indigenous, know their land. But a confusion with Fulanis that always say north, north. We don't know what is called north. The Hausas are not northerners, but we don't know if other indigenous tribes belongs to north, but we are not belongs to north, the Hausa people. One guy, if I should mention his name, I don't know whether it's Isa Bako that stay in USA. He make a point that whenever we keep on believing and staying in north, we will end up achieving nothing. And one useless guy came out to challenge him because the guy is a Fulani. He's a Fulani that claimed to be northerners, because Fulanis only have a history record living in Nigeria for 220 years during the terrorism of Usman Amfodio jihad. That jihad is Fulani jihad, not Islamic jihad. In Islam, we don't know anything called jihad, just to go and kill and conquer indigenous land. There is nothing like that in Islam. Fulani is always using Islam to terrorize the whole Africa, not only Nigeria, because they don't have space in Africa. The only space they are claiming, using the Western world that say north. That north is not in Nigeria, it's not in any African country, because that north is the space for the Fulanis to claim, to live, and to stay. If we can remember, a lot of terrorism that goes on with other terrorists that use religion as a tool, they went to Andalus. If we can check the history of Andalus, the terrorists that use religion, Islamic religion, as their weapon to conquer the land, they stay for almost 800 years ruling the Andalus. But now, is there any history of that people that do that? The same thing, and it is very easy in Nigeria to happen for those that use religion as the tool to conquer Nigerian indigenous, not only Hausa land, Nigerian indigenous have been conquered by the Fulanis, jihadis. They rule for 220 years only. It is just a little time they use that opportunity in wasting and destroying our country. All the issues in Africa, not only Nigeria, I'm talking on behalf of the entire Africa. Anywhere you see a terrorism, the leader in charge of the terrorism is a Fulani. This useless, stupid guy mentioned the name of Metasine, that terrorism that happened during 80s, during Shagari, a Fulani president. Metasine came to Nigeria, is a Fulani. He did a lot of damages in Nigeria. The same system of Usman Amfodio, that is what happened. It's only that the history is being hidden. It's not been exposed. But we, the Hausas, we have the ghost, we have the power, we have the capacity to talk, to voice out and says the truth. We are not afraid. Being Fulanis in charge of most of the political, traditional, religion, leadership in Hausa land, that does not give the Fulani the capacity to use that religion stupidity to destroy our land, to destroy our country. We are not afraid of them. The terrorism, banditry, kidnapping that is happening in Hausa land, it's wake the Hausas up. We wake up. We know the target. Before, our forefathers hide the truth to us. They did not tell us the history and the truth, the reality of the Fulani's terrorism. But now we are in a global world. Things you can make research easily to find out the results. We, the Hausas, we are educated. We have a lot of scholars. We kept silent just to avoid violence. But our silence, sorry to say it, affects the whole Nigerians, indigenous, and the Africans. But now, we have the cure. We know the solution. And we have to do the needful, and we are doing it. And it's left for the other indigenous tribes to wake up, to stand on their feet, chasing those terrorists that stay for 220 years. It's easy. It's nothing. There is nothing for us to be fear or to be afraid of. In population, the numbers of Fulanis in Nigeria is not that enough to take us a week to finish them. Fulanis are so stupid. Both their religious leaders, traditional rulers, politicians, and all their scholars, they only get way to hide under the shadow of the houses. We know, and we know how to expose and chase them out of our land. Definitely, it will happen with full confidence. The stupid guy also mentioned in one of his videos that the people that are killing houses, the people that hate houses, he said are the Igbos. Igbos, Yorubas, and other indigenous Nigerians are not enemies to the Hausas. the pure enemies of Nigerians are the Fulanis. They always use divide and rule system to divide us, either tribal clashes, religion clashes, so that they will have chance and opportunity to rule us. We are not fools. We know all the target and the strategies. We, the Hausas, we know Fulanis more than any other indigenous tribe in Nigeria. And we are going to expose and show their physical reality to the world. Peter Obi is an Igbo. He contests for presidential seat. He lost. And this stupid guy is saying that an Igbo will come and rule. Yeah, we are happy. And we are expecting and hoping such to happen in Nigeria. We need a Fulani. We don't need the Fulanis to rule us again. Never. But we need an Igbo and other indigenous to rule. And Hausas, we are going to rule and chase the Fulani out. Those that are using our language, our traditional ways, that stay in our land, that are contesting for presidential seat, they are all Fulanis. When a full typical Hausa is out, we are going to explain to the indigenous to know that that face is a pure Hausa. But Konkoso, Rabiu Musa Konkoso, Al Mustafa, Ganduje, Rubado, Nuhu Rubado, Matawalle, Atiku Abubakar, they are all Fulanis. We should not deceive ourselves. Most of those in politics that came out from the Hausa land, they are Fulanis. We have few Hausas that are into politics. We know them, we are watching them. And when it comes to time, we will tell the indigenous so person is a Hausa, so person is a Fulani. And the decision is left for us to do the needful. But I think this is a last chance for the Fulanis to rule in Nigeria. Chasing them is an easy thing for us. Fulani are using our wealth to empower and educate their children. They use our wealth to send their children abroad to go and learn. They build schools for only Fulanis to study. In most of these Hausa land states, there is a lot of Fulanis children's school. And they use religion and brainwash others, most especially the Hausas, saying that the Hausa should go for Almajiri school, running around in the streets begging. We know the target. They don't want the Hausas to be educated. But sorry to say it, they made a mistake. We already achieved, we have reached the peak level in education, the Hausas. We are in all positions, all level of education we have reached. The Hausa people have reached. It's only our silence that affect us. And we are not more silent now. The Fulanis did a terrible things in Nigeria and the Africa. The issue and the Western, the colonials that are using and controlling African resources, they use Fulanis as their first target, first weapon to target us. We know all things that are happening in African country where militaries are taking over. It's as the result of Fulani terrorism. They terrorize Africa and they are terrorizing Africa. Now their time have expired, but they didn't know. Maybe they think they can do without us, without Hausas. And what Fulanis hate is a Hausa man to say is a Hausa. They hate that word. And they hate when Hausa man say he's not a northerner. He belongs to Hausa land. They hate that word. They don't want to see the appearance, the reality of Hausa man. It pains them when they hear Hausa. Hausa is a blessed tribe. And we are proud of that. We thank God for giving us this value and other indigenous that have the value. We thank Almighty for that. The valueless and the stupid, the worst dangerous tribe, Fulanis, are seeing the shames they created in the Africa. They are always hiding their identity. They always claim to be Hausas, Northerners, Nigerians. If you belong to Nigeria, where is your land? The Fulanis. Do you have a land? Do you have a 500 years record history in Nigeria? It's a mistake that brought Fulanis to Nigeria. Not mistake, it's a disaster. It's a disasters that affect Nigeria. Fulani are disasters. We regret Fulanis living in our country. We regret it. All cause of destruction, destroying, killing. They don't do anything that will develop our country. They came with a lot of terrorism. The Boko Haram terrorism is headed by the Fulani man, Muhammad Yusuf. We know the current banditry that is happening. The leaders are Fulanis, the Laukurawas that came from Mali, Senegal, Burkina, Niger. Their leader, Ahmad Kufa, is a Fulani. Anywhere you see terrorism in Africa, their leader is a Fulani. They are the source of terrorism. When a Fulani guy came out in social media, we know they have a lot of girls, prostitutes. They send them in social media to create clashes between indigenous tribes. We know, and we know the guys, they also send to social media. What the Sultan of Sokoto, Sultan of Fulani, Sokoto Fulani said, he said that a social media is a terrorist group. He meant that to only Fulanis that are in social media. The same terrorism they are doing in reality, physically, they are doing it in social media, and we know we are going to expose them. And he said the truth. Social media is a banditry, is a terrorist group headed by the Fulanis, we know. But we that are enlightening our people, we are not terrorists. We know the terrorists, the physical terrorists and the logical terrorists. We know them, and we are exposing them. My dear Nigerians, indigenous, we have to shine our eyes. We know the truth, and we must say the truth, nothing but the truth.